Hi, it's me again, John Garcia from DNR ERDB, and welcome back to ERDB and Viatalk. Sa mga ngayon lang nakapanood ng ating episode, and Viatalk is our way of explaining what biotechnology is and how it can be applied to protect our environment through a series of chikahan with our experts at ERDB. Well, last week we talked about biodiversity and its relationship to COVID-19. Ngayon naman, in under 20 minutes, we'll discuss genetic diversity. In our second episode entitled, Difference is Resilience, How Can Genetic Diversity Conserve the Philippine Forest? Interesting, di ba? Wait lang, ano pa tong genetic diversity? Bakit siya importante? At ano naman kinalaman nun sa ating mga kagubatan? Well, lahat yan masasagot ng ating special guest for today. She's a graduate of BS Biology, major in Cell and Molecular Biology, and she specializes in biotechnology and biosafety. She is now in charge of the Forest Molecular Biology Laboratory of ERDB. Well, let's all welcome with lots of heart reacts ang ating batang-batang guest for today, Miss Alexa Gray Advinco. Hi, Ate Alexa.
Hello nga. Hello din sa mga viewers natin. Good afternoon.
Kamusta?
Hello, mabuti naman. Ngayon ay nag-work from home ako kaya nandito ako sa bahay namin.
Ako nga naman ngayon nasa ERDB Library. Ating library, pwedeng i-visit yan ng ating mga viewers. So, Ate Alexa, nabalitaan ko na 23 years old ka lang daw. Tapos ito na, researcher ka sa ERDB. Wow, paano ka napunta sa ganitong field?
Noong high school pa ako, talaga inisip ko kung gusto ko talaga mag-med, so I pursue biology. Pero nung nandun ako sa curriculum, nakikita ko na kung ano yung mga pinag-aaralan, kung ano yung mga ginagawa. And nakakatuwa talaga yung research kasi it's very interesting. Tapos yung mga findings, so na-inspire talaga ako doon na mag-pursue. Tapos kaya Cell and Molecular Biology ang kinuha ko kasi tingin ko marami pa talagang dapat matutunan sa field na yun. Marami pa dapat ma-discover. Kaya yung pinili ko.
Saya mapakinggan talaga every time yung I wanted to pursue research. Nakakatawa na sana feeling ko I imagine na may mga bata na nanonood din ngayon na may certain, may naramdaman sila din nung narinig nila yung I wanted to pursue research. And yun yung gusto nating iparinig sa kanila ngayon. And ang ating topic ngayon today ay ang genetic diversity. Kaya naman ito na game. Ano ba tong genetic diversity?
Okay, so thank you dahil ako yung na-invite niyo dito. So I'm very, gusto ko talaga i-speak yung genetic diversity kasi ito yung pagkakaiba-iba ng mga genes at mga characteristics na naipapasa or namamana sa bawat generation or isa or higit pang species. Isang halimbawa nito is tayong mga tao. So we are of the same species pero magkakaiba yung ating traits and yung ating characteristics. Kahit na yung mga identical twins, although they share the same appearance, they have still difference in other aspects.
So yun pala yung genetic diversity. Ano namang kinalaman yan sa forest conservation? Kasi usually before, nang naririnig ko, ang application lang nito ay agricultural and crops. So paano siya na-apply sa forestries?
Sa forestry or forest conservation, malaking bagay talaga ang genetic diversity. Kasi kapag mas mataas or mas varied ang difference sa mga species, so yung whole population nila ay kayang mag-adapt to any form of environmental stress. So ano ba yung mga environmental stress? So pwede siyang global warming, pwedeng climate change, or even pollution. So may mga species talaga tayo ng trees na kayang i-tolerate yung mga ganung stress. Kaya lang hindi lahat ng species ay may ganoong klaseng ability. So this may cause them infertility, pwede pang death. Kaya the genetic uniformity, it makes the species or population very vulnerable. So through genetic diversity study din, we are able to determine kung ano bang population ang kayang mag-adapt sa mga changes sa environment na yun. And with higher genetic variation, the more chance for the species to survive and thrive in an ever-changing environment. So kapag nawala kasi ang isa or maging limited ang isang tree species, marami kasing maapektuhan ito, including yung mga insects, mga fungi, and other animals na pwede pang mawala. So kapag mababa naman ang genetic diversity, mas susceptible sa mga diseases ang ating mga puno. So, pwedeng tumaas ang bilang ng kanilang pagkamatay, lalo na kapag na-expose sila sa stressed environment. So, may example ako ng phenomena na to. So, meron kasing epidemic across Southeast Asia, even sa Philippines, na na-experience natin yung gall rust sa palkati trees. So, gustong-gusto siya ng mga farmers itanim. Pero dahil kukunti lang ang seed source nito, way back in the past, considering na ang mga seeds ay galing sa mother trees, na carrier ng trait na susceptible sa mga diseases. Kaya hanggang ngayon, problema pa rin talaga natin ang gall rust sa mga palkati trees.
Okay, so I see. That's genetic diversity. And yun pala yung importansya niya para mapanatili natin ating mga forest, para makita ng mga future generations. Kunwari, example, yung kapatid mo na mas bata or yung kapatid mo na may anak, yung mga anak ng kapatid mo. Yung ganun ba? Para after a few years, andun pa rin yung forest, andun pa rin yung puno, andun pa rin yung lahat ng nakatira dun sa forest na yun, di ba? Tama ba, ate? So, yes. Gusto lang din namin malaman, ano ba yung ginagawa nyo sa laboratory?
Nakabuti na itanong mo yan. Kasi yung ginagamit talaga namin ay yung mga molecular biology techniques. So, meron kami mga equipment sa laboratory para makita natin kung ano ba yung specific na population ang mas diverse. So, hindi kasi siya natin kayang tingnan lang ng, okay, tingnan mo yung puno, mas diverse. Kaya mo talaga siyang i-process yung molecular biology techniques. So, ang ERDB staffs, so nagko-conduct kami ng mga field works, umaakit talaga ng mga bundok, nagko-collect ng mga leaf samples sa mga plantations all over the country. So, after that, yung mga leaf samples na na-collect, pinaprocess siya sa laboratory. Na-extract namin yung genetic material include na DNA. So, once na naging successful yun, through molecular markers naman, specifically yung ginagamit namin na simple sequence repeat or SSR, ang technique na ginagamit namin to identify yung differences among the population sa mga na-collect namin samples. Diba ba, it sounds so tedious, bawat step na ginagawa namin. Kaya very documented talaga ito bago namin ma-analyze through our softwares.
So nabanggit mo, ate, pupunta talaga kayo sa iba't ibang parts ng Pilipinas? Wow! Para lang maghanap ng mga trees na pwede natin mapag-aralan para alamin kung sino yung may mas magandang genetic makeup na sila nga yung mas kakayanin ang changes in the environment. Tama, ate, no?
Tama.
So, yes. Okay. So, ano po yung mga naging studies or ginagawang studies ngayon ng ERDB about genetic diversity?
Yung ERDB kasi, simula pa 2015, nung na-establish at naging functional ang first molecular biology laboratory, naging mas active rin ang ERDB sa pag-conduct ng mga DNA analysis studies. So, kagaya ng study noong 2015, yung ERDB Genetic Diversity Study among 7 priority forest species. So, kasama na din yung Nara, yung Mulage, Benguet Pine, Bagalunga, Yemane, Mangyum, at yung Ipil. So, mukhang excited kayo doon sa, sa pag-collect sa field work. So, iba-ibang parte ng Pilipinas talaga ang pinuntahan namin. Umabot kami sa Benguet, sa Pagadian, Region 9, 10, 11, 12, and hanggang Region 13 na abot namin just to collect these leaf samples.
Wow, grabe. Nakakatuwa na wala lang at the age of 23, you are very passionate about genetic diversity and paano pa natin mako-conserve ang forest. And we cannot stress this enough na forest conservation is very important. Lahat ng kailangan natin sa buhay na kukuha natin sa ating mga kabubatan. Tulad ng mga kinakain natin, the air we breathe, the water we drink. And talagang importante na mapanatili pa natin ating mga forest. Sa dami ng benefits na nakukuha natin sa forest, ano ba yung pwedeng magawa ng mga nanonood sa ating mga kabataan o iba pang individuals para makatulong?
So, kung in terms of our government, so kasi yung studies natin, pwede siyang maging stepping stone para sa mas magandang implementation, more proper, more suitable measures para magkaroon ng, for example, sa mga reforestation programs. So kapag mas mataas ang mga genetic variations na itatanim na puno, so mas mataas talaga ang chance na mag-survive ang mga ito. So pwede maging stepping stone yun ng government para maging maayos ang forest management natin. So for example, yung aming ding study, natuklasan namin na ang Nara population sa Caraga, may mataas ng genetic variability, kaya it's a good source ng seed para sa plant division. And para naman sa ating mga students and sa ating mga individuals, we can impart a lot of things. So, sinabi nga ni Robert F. Kennedy, this world demands the qualities of youth. So it is the young people who must take the lead. So we must develop and be proactive in the love of our nature. So we can do it by visiting, pwedeng mag-explore tayo, i-appreciate pa natin ang nature, get to know our watersheds, and get involved talaga sa mga studies. Let's do research and let's get our hands dirty. And kung may mga gusto pa kayong malaman na information about genetic diversity, yung Forest Molecular Biology Laboratory, service division na from the service division ng ERDB 𝐈𝐍. So, nagpo-provide kami yung different kinds of services related sa DNA analysis. We can conduct and lectures and demonstrations. So, i-visit nyo lang kami doon sa forestry.
Ayan guys, narinig nyo kay Ate Alexa na pwedeng-pwede silang tumulong kapag may needs kayo about DNA analysis or anything about genetic diversity. Kaya naman Ate Alexa, sobrang thankful ako na nandito ka ngayon para makausap natin yung mga kabataan at ma-enlighten or ma-inspire natin sila tungkol dito sa ganitong biotechnology para sa forest conservation.
Yes, you are right, Ate Jonah. Ang opisina natin dito sa ERDB ay laging bukas sa mga kabataan na mas gusto pang lumalim ang pag-unawa tungkol sa siyensya at kalikasan. Ate Jonah, ang ERDB ay meron palang video na tungkol sa genetic diversity. Masusi itong ginawa para mas dami pang maintindihan ng mga kabataan ang tungkol sa genetic diversity. Tara, sabay-sabay natin panoorin ito.
Can you imagine a world that's dark and gray, lifeless, cold, and dry? Everything that you see around you is the byproduct of biodiversity. It breathes life to the world and splashes hues of greens and blues to our ecosystem. So, what makes biodiversity important? It keeps us all alive. It provides us water to drink, food to eat, oxygen to breathe, and clothes to wear. According to the Convention on Biological Diversity, or CBD, the Philippines is one of 18 mega biodiverse countries of the world, containing 2/3 of the Earth's biodiversity and between 70 and 80% of the world's plant and animal species. However, with the ever-changing environment and increasing global temperature brought about by climate change, some species of forest trees fail to cope with such changes, thereby affecting their ability to survive. But it's never too late. We can still protect our forests and preserve our natural resources. So, how do we make a difference to save biodiversity? Through genetic diversity. Genetic diversity refers to the variations observed in the tiniest detail, the genetic makeup of species. This might come too hard to understand at first, but don't worry. Genetic diversity is just how we are distinguished from each other. Just look at your fingers. Notice how no two people have exactly the same fingerprints? Even identical twins still have their own differences in spite of roughly the same appearances. Genetic diversity is important because it helps maintain a healthy population. It helps species to survive the negative impacts of climate change, making survival of the fittest ring true even more. With higher genetic variations, the more chances there are for forestry species to survive and thrive in an ever-changing environment. You may ask, how does genetic diversity in forestry help humans? The answer is simple. Forests provide us with resources, making it possible for humans to survive. Genetic diversity helps in decreasing the vulnerability of forestry species to pests and other natural threats that may cause a decrease in population or even extinction. What's more, genetic diversity information can also serve an important role in tree breeding and in the improvement of our local forestry programs. The Ecosystems Research and Development Bureau of DENR has already initiated genetic diversity studies of priority forestry species in the Philippines. This might not come as a surprise, but documenting genetic diversity is easier said than done. There are processes needed to identify the genetic variations in a forestry species. First, plant geneticists determine an individual's DNA characteristics through DNA analysis. To get this done, ERDB does the following. 1. Researchers collect leaf samples from different sources around the country. 2. The collected leaf samples will then undergo DNA analysis. 3. The researchers will then extract the DNA found in the leaf sample through the use of CTAB test and the help of molecular marker RAPID. This process is called DNA isolation. 4. ERDB's Forest Molecular Biology Laboratory identifies genetic variations by using segments of the DNA sequence of individuals. These segments are called DNA-based molecular markers. By observing the different types or genetic polymorphisms of these markers, we can estimate the genetic diversity of the population. 5. Lastly, ERDB researchers observe the genetic variations among the individuals and analyze the data gathered. There are 7 species that are included in the ongoing ERDB genetic diversity study. As of now, ERDB has assessed the genetic diversity of 3 species. The study showed the population holding the highest genetic diversity among the samples collected from different provinces in the Philippines. For Limolan, it is Bataan. For Nara, Ilocos. And for Kawayan Tinic, it is the Pangasinan population that holds the highest genetic diversity. With higher genetic variations, the more there is for species to survive and thrive in an ever-changing environment. The continuing study of ERDB on genetic diversity holds vast potentials for the preservation of the forest ecosystems in the Philippines. In reforestation programs, using a population of tree species with higher genetic variations poses a greater chance of surviving than a population with limited genetic variability. As the country faces unceasing and unregulated deforestation and loss of genetic resources, we are in a race with time to document and study the rich genetic diversity of our forestry resources. In biotech, promoting biotechnologies for a healthy environment. To show your support, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/ERDB-GovPH, and use the following hashtag, ERDByYouthTech.
So, sa ating mga kabataang nanonood ngayon, what did you think of this discussion? Let us know by sharing this video, tag 3 of your friends, and write your insights. And huwag niyong kakalimutan ang hashtag ERDB and Biotalk. Malay niyo, kayo ang mapiling mananalo ng very special prize from ERDB. So there you go, guys. That's almost 20 minutes of exploring biotechnologies, the environment, and its importance to people. Huwag kayong mawawala next week kasi i-announce namin ang winner at ang pag-uusapan naman natin ay ang science behind clonal propagation. So muli po, ako po si Jonna Garcia kasama si Ate Alexa at maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanood ng ERDB and Biotalk in under 20 minutes. Kita-kits ulit next week, same time, same page, alright? Okay, bye! Bye, Ate!
Bye!
Thank you!
Thank you po.